Hi everybody, I am back and I'm showing you today the never ending card. We've done a variety of cards. If you want to look back at the last few videos, we've done masked snow card, the easel card, the bend open pocket card. I've done several card sets using different stamps. But right now we're going to do the never ending card, which is this card. So I sent this card out to our club a while back, and it has a way of just sort of flipping open. And it continually flips until you're back to the beginning. So again, it flips open, it flips open, it flips open, flips open. The thing about this card is it's so easy. It basically calls for 4 3x6 pieces of cardstock. And that's basically, one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock will take care of this, right? You want it to be fairly sturdy because, we're going to be flipping and moving and stuff, and you don't want the corners to get all messed up. So that's why I put extra cardstock as decoration, like layers, to make it even sturdier. And this card is pretty sturdy. The reason why I have the squares, I will show you how this works. Basically, the whole thing is 2 3x6 pieces of cardstock go together like this, and then 2 pieces rotate and go on top of it like this. The squares show where the adhesive goes, and it's the only adhesive on the whole thing. It is hard to imagine when you watch this thing flip that there's only 4 square inches of adhesive on it to hold it all together. So I just wanted to show you these 4 squares need to be pretty sturdy adhesive. Some people use some kind of score tape, like double-sided sturdy tape. Some people will use like liquid glue. I like to use liquid glue. I like the Tombow Multi because it's made for paper and you can use it very sparingly. But on the sample I gave you, I'm just using plain old school glue stick. This is cheap, and when it dries, it works really well. So I just scrub a little glue stick on there and put these together. And you basically want to line them up on the corners so that the 4 corners are adhered. So let me put this aside and show you that is exactly what I did. So I had 2 sheets of 3x6 here, and opposite way there, I glued the 4 corners. When you do that, what happens is you basically create this thing that you're going to have to fold. And so you want to be able to fold it. What I did was I folded it back about halfway. Like if you have a grid like what's on here, you can put your paper between the 9 and the 3, for example, and then fold it into the center. So you can fold that into the 6 and then, make a crease on that paper. Same way with this one, you want to flip it out, fold it into the 6, and make a crease on that paper. Okay, and then, see how that worked? And then you're going to flip it over, and you're essentially going to do the same thing again. So you're going to have creases going both ways, and everything should be pressed very well. So when you fold these in, you'll have creases halfway and creases halfway. Does that make sense? So you end up with a lot of flippy squares. Now that it doesn't have any sturdiness and it's just this cardstock without any decoration, you can kind of see that the only adhesive is this square, this square, this square, and this square. So you can see the four corners, that is it. You've got all of your adhesive together. So the time-consuming part of this card, of course, is in the decoration. It takes forever to kind of put it all together. And that is why I really like having stamp sets like this one. I know I keep using this one in samples, but I like that it has lots of images to use because I don't have to drag out a dozen stamp sets just to get the images I want to use. I also added to it, I really love this little hugs and kisses and lots of birthday wishes stamp set. It's kind of hard to read since mine is stained blue, but there you go. I really like this stamp because it has little tiny things with it that I can use. Plus, it's easy. It was easy to get out and use. So I've been using it often. These two together work great. And so that's what we're using. I went ahead while those four corners were drying, right? You can decide what you want as the front of your card. You'll see, since I have cardstock that's two different colors, it's not an illusion. This is dark, this is light, front and back. It's the way I put it together. But you can decide which one you want as the front of your card or the back of your card. It'll look a little bit different when it flips, depending on which one you use as your front. But I like this one as my front. I like this dark cardstock. So what I did, this is the part that takes so much time. All of the squares are approximately 3 inches square, right? So if you make something like this, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 square, you're going to need a lot of them. You're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to need 8 larger size images. But then on top of that, we have these sections here at the top that will show as you flip these sides. And so you need a lot of, they're about 1 1/4 inch by 2 3/4 inch little pieces of paper. Now you could just do it like this one, straight up cardstock, use your scraps, or you could add things to it and make them more decorative. Depending on which way it flips, you might need just a square or you may need a whole image. Just depends on which way you choose your card to flip. This one is a little bit backwards compared to how I normally make it. This is more common how I make it. So you can see I would need these, maybe something on the side. Here's the 4 squares, something on the side. Okay, now if you have a spot like this where it doesn't want to flip real easy or it's getting hung up, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put this back out and trim just a sliver off, or take a scissor and trim just a little bit off the edge where it's getting hung up, just so that you have a little bit more of a gap. All right, so to decorate this thing, I basically made several things to put it together, and I'm not going to make you watch me glue all of these on, but you can see I just go through and glue on parts and pieces to make it look cool. And they don't all have to be exactly perfect. On the cardstock, I just did color on color. So, you know, I used raspberry paper with raspberry ink, and I used the little candles. To me, they look like paintbrushes in there, but whatever. And then the little stars on the blue. So I thought that one looked really cool. And then when you flip it, I have 2 more sections here. And so I thought that hugs and kisses would be cute there. And then I made this one just sort of random. And I thought that looked pretty good. So that's neat. Now on the sides, you could do, again, anything on the sides. Here, let me move those out of the way. So again, you could do a whole strip of blue. You could do just like this. This one says Yahoo, and it's got like confetti. I think it's really cute. I tried to pick just 3 colors because it's really easy to get a little carried away with the colors. When you flip it, you'll be flipping it up, and so make sure your images face the right direction. I put this one here. This one says, the more you weigh, the harder you are to kidnap. Stay safe and eat cake. And this one says, old is the new black. Now here, you could use just little squares, or you could just leave it plain, or you could do another tone on tone using the nectarine ink and just put more little stars on there. But you can see where it would really get dressed up if I used a little square of something. Right? And then it flips again, and this is your last page. So I put here, you don't look a day over the age you're pretending to be, and I put in a bunch of candles. And I thought this little happy birthday on the side was cute. And this one says, I forgive you for being younger than me. And I like that there too. And again, you know, you can decorate the sides however you want. You could put both images like this. I mean, this is truly however you want it to look. So the whole card then just flips, and then you go back to the beginning where I first started. So again, let me flip through one more time. So you have 2 central images with some decoration. Now notice on this one, I used a lot of extra bling. Buttons, wood pieces, little tiny stickers, wood, the little rhinestone bling, the stickers. I added extra little pieces that I stamped and cut out. Little wood pieces. And notice that there's one page, like right there, where what is on the next page shows through. So that is something to think about if you have your card going this direction, that will show when you flip. Most people would not care. On the card I made, because I turned it the other way, it doesn't work the same, you know, it doesn't show the same way. So, there you go. What do you think? It's fairly simple. It's just a matter of decorating it. And so this is definitely a card you would want to make multiples of. You know, not just make one, but make multiple. And if you have a bunch of leftover stickers or something, this is a great way to use them up. Stamped images, you know how I told you I stamp multiple images all the time. This is another great way to use them on this kind of card, because you're going to be looking for ways to decorate each little section. All right. That's it. And I just want to remind you that on May 2nd is the Close to My Heart online event or crop. They're going to have some classes. Watch for those. And I will show you on my website how to order those if you want to participate in the classes and have your stuff right in front of you. Thanks a lot. Have a good afternoon, you guys.